Hi dear students, today I bring you quadratic equations through mathematics with my math. So this is the question number 2 I'm going to discuss. It is in the paper 2 part A of 2018 ordinary level examination paper. So let's move for the question now. Okay students, this is the question number 2. I will read it for you initially. The sum of the lengths of two adjacent sides of a rectangle is 16 centimeters and the length of a diagonal is 14 centimeters. Show that when the breadth of the rectangle is taken as x, it satisfies the quadratic equation, which is x square minus 16x plus 30 equals 0, and find separately the length and the breadth of the rectangle to the first decimal place. They have given us square root 34 is equals 5.83. So we can use it in the calculations going on. So first of all, I would like to draw that in here as rectangle, and I put x as the breadth and y as the length of the rectangle, as well as I draw the diagonal in pink color 14 centimeters. They have given in the first two rows all the details I have drawn here by a figure. Then we can use the first row of the question and we can prepare a equation by the first row. What it say? It says two adjacent sides of the rectangle is equal 16 centimeters. Two adjacent side means x plus y. Then we can easily say x plus y equals 16. So we can see in the green color part in the question 2, I have written in green color, it is the quadratic equation and it doesn't contain any y letters or something. It is totally from the x. So there are two unknown terms in our calculations. Therefore, there should be minimum of two equations in order to calculate the answer. Therefore, I will put this as first equation. Then I am going to use Pythagorean relation. That means, in other words, what we call Pythagoras theorem, Pythagoras relation. So in order to using that, this is the equation you can see. I will write it here. X square plus y square equals 14 square. 14 means the diagonal one. So diagonal base. So you can see I have put it as second equation. Now we have two equations for the two unknown factors or the two unknown integers. Then this is important. Anyway, the final answer contains only x. Therefore, we have to remove y from above equation. Above equation means second equation 2. Why I just going to substitute y in equation 2? Because in equation 2 there is a x square term. So that is important to reach the answer given in the question. That's why I substitute y in that second equation. So derive an equation which gives y as a subject. I'm using equation 1. Therefore I write here from 1 I can subject y. So 16 minus x equals y. So I put it as 3. So here I would say the thing I'm going to do. Now remove y using equation 3. Just substitute y in equation 2 by using equation 3. Let's see how we'll do for that. students, let's move to the next step. Finding the length and breadth of rectangle for the first decimal place. Obviously, there are two ways of doing that. First one is by completing the square and by the formula. You know both steps or the both processes I will discuss in detail. Here, first of all, I would like to discuss by completing the square. The first method I would like to discuss. Here, this is the equation we have, and first of all, as the first step, we have to do the thing is, if there are any constant one here, we have to put it to the right side or the other side. Okay, then there was plus 30, it becomes minus 30. Then we have to add, for the both side we are adding some constant one. So why we are adding that? We have to provide, or we have to take, or we have to make a perfect square in our left side. Okay, we have to complete the square, we have to provide that. So in order to complete the square, we are adding a half of the coefficient of x, and we are taking it as how? We are taking square of it. That means minus 16 is the coefficient of x. So we divide it by 2. That means minus 8. Minus 8 we are taking as minus 8 square. So then we can reach to that bracket. You can see x minus 8 full bracket, and it's square of x minus 8. That means perfect square of x minus 8. So then we can write it as here in the left side. You can see in the right side minus 30 plus 64. That means minus 8 square means plus, minus into minus means plus. Then we can reach this one, subtraction after subtraction, plus 64 minus 30, that means plus 34. Then left side there was an what? Square. That square comes into the other side as square root. Square root plus or minus, both signs can be there because there are two answers for the x. Okay, then also in our question they have given us use square root of 34 as 5.83. We can also use that one here in order to take the answers. So then minus 8 I take into right side. I just put x only in the left side in order to as the subject of the equation. So plus 8 plus or minus square root of 34. Then I go for the two ways, or there are two answers, the plus or the minus. Then I substitute square root of 34 by 5.83 and the other also. Then you can see in the left side 13.83. These are one answer of the x. The other one is 2.17. That is the other answer of the x. There are two answers. Then we can write the larger one as the length of the rectangle. It is 13.8 and the breadth is 2.2 centimeters. Because we have to provide it into the first decimal place, therefore we have to round it up it to the first decimal place. So in the first one, length 13.83, so 3 is lesser than the 5. Then we can neglect it without adding to 8. So we are just neglecting the 3 and cancel out the 3 and just putting 13.8. And the other one 2.17. 7 is larger than the 5. So we add 1 to the 1 and cancel out the 7. So it gives us 2.2 centimeters. So then we move to the next method, or the second method of by formula. Okay students, let's move for the second method. This is by using formula. This is the formula, and here I have shown you those coefficients of x square and x, and also 30 is the constant value. Here you can see ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. So 1 plus 1 is denoted by a, and minus 16 is denoted by b, and plus 3 is denoted by c. So you can see those letters represent these coefficients, and the finally as the third term, that is constant value. So in trinomial quadratic expressions, you can see those terms, those three terms here, and I'm going to substitute those values here. So you can see for b I have put or substitute by 16 minus 16, and a is substituted by plus 1, and c is substituted by 30. And here if solving them, you can see minus 16 square equals 256, and then 1 into 4 into 30 equals 120. It is minus, so then it becomes plus 16 plus or minus square root of 136 divided by 2. So here we have to think something. You can see, you can remember that in our question they have given something. What was that? Square root of 34 equals 5.83. That means we have to think something. Just we can think here, if we can provide square root 34 within this square root, that means simply if we can provide 34 instead of 136, we can take that value to for the substitution here in order to calculate the final answer. So what about this? We can write 136 by O as 4 into 34. So I wrote it here as like this, because square root of 4 we already know it is 2, and also square root of 34 is they have given that, so no problem. Here I can reach this step. 2 has come out from the square root, and then we can see I have substitute that square root by 5.83. Then I can reach here 16 plus or minus 2 into 5.83 means 11.66 divided by 2. Then I have two ways, plus way and minus way. And here when we are going to plus method, it gives us 13.83. If we go into that minus part, it will provide 2.17 as the answer. You can see both answers are similar to that first method. Then we can show that length is 13.8 centimeters and width is 2.2 centimeters. I think student, you have understand all these terms and methods here for the quadratic equation. So I think you got all the points, and if you have any further questions or queries, you can reach me through messenger or by text messages. Even you can just give me a call and ask what is this and what is that. So anyway, you can subscribe my YouTube channel, then you can reach my videos, more videos at the time I put there in the net. So thank you for being with me for this time, and thank you very much. So goodbye, have a nice day.